Timcast IRL will be live in Miami with Patrick Bet David, Donald Trump Jr., Matt Gaetz, and Luke Rudkowski. Join us there. Get your tickets by clicking the link in the description below or by going to timcast.com. This is an existential crisis we have that we need to address. Lampedusa, the migrant crisis. Nurse says, welcome everyone, as island's residents complain they have to wait for care. More than 12,000 migrants have arrived on the Italian island of Lampedusa in the past week, putting the staff, like Franco Galletto, under serious strain. You may have seen the story. There's an island in Italy. It is relatively close to Tunisia. It has 6,550 or so residents, and there are now 12,000 migrants, economic migrants, who have come in, most of them fighting age males. I'm sorry, man. Look, there's videos of people setting up barricades. There's a video going viral of people fighting that is not from this island. That was an older video. But there is a video going viral right now that I haven't confirmed where it shows people setting up barricades. And the argument is, look, these migrants have started setting up their own territorial zones. You get 12,000 people into your community of 6,000, your community does not exist anymore. It's over. The will of the people, right? Democracy. Okay, well, these people are here. If you don't believe in borders, they're going to vote for whatever they want. I'll tell you this, they're going to vote take your stuff. Mm-hmm. They're going to come in, they're going to take your stuff, they're going to leave, they're going to go somewhere else.
Right, and what's the number one thing that you know the people in charge are trying to do? Take away our opportunity, take away our ability to defend ourselves in case of any invasion like this, right? When I see someone like Gavin Newsom, all his pages is like, we need to eliminate guns and do this, the other thing. It's like that you can name 10 different things that put us in a bad position if we don't have guns. This is another one.
Well, I mean,
an invasion of another.
If the videos are true that they're starting to seize territory, now you're getting into war. Mm-hmm. And that's a scary thought.
Yeah, someone referred to the migrants that just came in today as reinforcements.
Yeah, I mean, this island is effectively occupied by migrants from Northern Africa. That's what this is. I mean, the Interior Minister of France went there today and he said, you know, we should help Italy and we should keep our borders open and it's very important. You know, the thing is, when you get to Italy, it's a pathway into the EU. But the EU says, Italy, you have to process all the asylum seekers. And so they're presuming that all the migrants there are going to apply for asylum, which I just think statistically is not going to happen. And so this becomes an incredible problem that communities are having to deal with. You were talking about wanting to do things locally. These 6,000 people are now having to accommodate 12,000 people.
Impossible.
It's not going to happen.
It's not just that. It's that if we're supposed to, you see what AOC was saying in New York when she said, everyone's screaming at her saying, get these illegal immigrants out of our city. Their resources are strained. And she says, we're going to give them work rights. We're going to give them more of our tax resources. And we're going to give them a special protected status. She's yelling over the people who are screaming at her to stop. She does not care. So now think about what's going on with the EU. This problem's been happening for a decade plus. It got really, really bad several years ago, and it's not being abated. If they follow the course they have in many other countries, what's going to happen is the people who are there will just be given special rights. What happens when you have a piece of land with 12,000 people who are not allowed to vote, and there are 6,500 people who do vote? Eventually, the 12,000 people say, there's more of us than there are of you, and we now get the right to vote. So what will likely happen in these circumstances is that, I'm sorry, your laws are only meaningful so long as they can be enforced. Your borders are only meaningful so long as they can be enforced. 12,000 people show up, by all means, your laws still exist for you, not for them. They don't know your laws and they don't care. And if they want to set up barricades and take territory, they'll just do it. People need to understand that when it comes to law, it's just what's in your brain, right? If you go if you're like from West Virginia, you go to Ohio, law's different. You might just think you didn't even know it was illegal. Let's say Pennsylvania. You're allowed to carry a gun in Pennsylvania, not in New Jersey. You didn't know that. Well, you went somewhere else. The laws were different. Mm. So what this is that woman who went to New Jersey and had a gun and didn't know it was illegal and got arrested. She did not know the law of this other place. Now, what happens if 10,000 people cross into New Jersey? Is that one cop going to be able to stop anybody? Your law only applies to you who know it and follow it. And I mean, to add on top of this, most people don't even know when new laws get passed anyway. Especially when they ban guns, because it's like, how are you supposed to follow all that stuff? They expect you to.
That'd be a good app.
What does it?
But yes, but my point here is this. If 12,000 people come into Lampedusa, do you think these 12,000 people know what the laws are? Do you think they
Do they care?
Some
Are they
of them
gonna
are
get
probably
arrested?
evil too. Some probably
Yeah.
will just try to take what's theirs or take what they want, or you're going to deal with a lot of hostility there if 12,000 people that don't have much are in a place that has a lot of resources.
Well, doesn't the EU already subsidize the residences to house immigrants? So I mean, we already know the first thing that they're going to do. They're going to start making these locals house these people in their homes.
Yep.
The expectation is that
They're
you're
going to be like, you got to put 4. Each house has to, we have double the people in our country now, so you got to put 4 people in each house.
Well, and if you read all the mainstream media articles that came out about it today, they all say, but what about the Tunisia deal? And this was the idea that the UN president, von Ledersen, I can never say her name, but she and the prime minister of Italy were working out a deal with Tunisia because Tunisia is the biggest gateway for all of this. I mean, this is where smugglers headquarters, people who are displaced within Africa know to go to Tunisia and then potentially get into Italy there. And they were going to offer them, Tunisia's economy is in shambles, and they're saying, we'll give you a lot of money to stop these boats from coming over. But we know, I mean, we talked about this, that ultimately means that Tunisia is like, well, when we need more money, we'll just let the migration go back up. The deal hasn't been brokered. It's getting stalled in Brussels. But ultimately, this is a terrible system. It's similar to having malware in your casino thing where you can say, give me money. Okay, I fixed the problem. Just kidding. It's not, I want money again. Like, this system is broken and we know it. And the best that they can do is to say, please, we'll give you money to stop the boats.
Well, it didn't work for New York, right?
No.
He was saying, bring all the immigrants in, and then now we're gonna subsidize you to house them. And now he's saying, I don't see an end to this.
He said New York is a sanctuary city and then started busing migrants to suburbs of New York and upstate New York. He said this is everyone else's problem. 110,000 migrants have come through New York in the last year. And at any given time, the New York City is carrying between 50 and 60,000 migrants. So they've got to be somewhere.
And now they're kicking out veterans out of hotels to, put the migrants in.
And New York's already just in disrepair. There's the videos of the rats running around.
That's awful.
Where the sidewalks crumbling and you can see like the subway.
Casey Neistat posted this crazy video, and I'm like, how did he get this video? He sees the sidewalk is crumpled, and he pushes into it, and it just falls straight down, and he sticks his camera into the underground like piping and everything, and he was like, the sidewalks are scary in New York. It's like, well, it's only gonna get worse, brother.
Dude, thinking about this intense this migration 1,000 years ago, if you have 20,000 people arrive on your island of 6,000 people, you fight, you pull out your weapons and defend your island so
It
they
would be
don't
war.
Yes, of course.
It would be an act of
But
war.
the Italians are told to do that is to be racist.
The difference now is we have telephones, we have internet. We know that they're not there to kill. That's not, I mean, obviously they didn't come, they would have been doing it if that was the...
That's not the
it doesn't seem like it, but we need to understand the history of what happens when you let rapid migration encroach on people's territory. If we don't accept and acknowledge what has happened in the past, it is very likely that it will happen again in the future. But we can prevent it if we start working on it now.
Yep. What's happening right now is this is the challenge. Nobody wants anybody to die. So you have these people on boats, and the question is, what do you do? Turn the boat. I think you turn the boats back around. That's it. It's simple. You say, you go back. Whatever. We can't handle this. But there's the challenge now of they will beach these boats. We can't stop all of them. I mean, it's Italy, so I shouldn't say we, but the people there can't stop all of them. What do you do? We don't want anybody getting hurt. The problem is you've had these videos, especially in the southern border of Mexico, where they're smashing through the barriers and fighting with the border guards. Mm-hmm. And so the argument is because they don't have guns, a violent incursion into sovereign territory by another group of people is like, just let it happen. That's insane to me. But I'm not going to pretend to have the answers because, like I said, nobody wants the violence to break out. Nobody wants violence to break out. But I fear this will make it inevitable. Because the people who are there on the island are going to need food, they're going to need shelter, and they're not getting it. There's 12,000 of them. You're going to probably see attacks on the locals. You're going to see people get their property taken from them, and the people who are there are going to start fighting.
Violence is inevitable violence is inevitable when people get desperate and they don't have resources. It's an inevitable. Unfortunately, it's great to be like, I love and peace. I mean, I promote it every single night on tour. It's the first thing that I want to promote, but violence is inevitable when you have people that are desperate and they need to survive themselves, right? 12,000 people on an island, they need to survive.
I think the issue here, some people may be a bit more conspiratorial. I think it's more so that they just don't care. the government of Italy, they're just like, look, I'm overwhelmed. I can't deal with this.
I know Giorgia
Then
Meloni
EU is like,
cares.
we don't care.
They went down there. This is from the BBC yesterday. Giorgia Meloni went to the island. She's the prime minister of Italy.
Send these people back.
I know.
She
She's
was there.
hardcore, too.
I mean, and that was what she campaigned on. She campaigned on an "I will stop illegal immigration" platform. So this is a big test for her, her government in particular. One of the things I think the challenges she faces, and it reminds me a lot of what's going on in Texas with the floating barrier, is, there have been times where she has been like, I'm going to deploy a naval blockade. So people can't come. We'll turn the boats back. You can't come here. Florida has a policy where you can't take a boat from Haiti to get here. They will turn the boat back. It doesn't count, basically. Wow. In Texas, Greg Abbott's in big trouble because he put up this 1,000-foot orange buoy barrier in the Rio Grande, and initially the DOJ said, you have to take it down. We're going to sue you because it's inhumane. Yeah, this is bad. We shouldn't stop people from swimming. And his response was, you're saying it's inhumane because the swim is dangerous. So therefore the deterrent is a good thing because then people don't attempt it.
Right.
And they changed their mind. They said, actually, no, you needed like the Army Corps of Engineers to design this raft, and really you violated a congressional law. I mean, they'll twist whatever they want to ultimately get the effect of allowing illegal immigration to continue to the detriments of the communities that are having to accommodate these people and having to provide the resources that they themselves probably don't have.
This makes me think of in Lampedusa. This is like if you ever play Civilization, there's a technique in that called a cultural. You can flip a city to your side with cultural pressure. And now I'm wondering if that's actually in the game. What you're not seeing is the migration that's happening. But it's like Lampedusa is closer to Tunisia than it is to Italy.
In the game,
Yeah,
this is more akin to just attacking the city. So
but it's with unarmed civilians. That's why it's not really. There's no attack.
Well, so in Civilization, I don't know about the later Civilizations, but in earlier games, I know this for sure. I don't know if I've played the later ones enough. If you send units into enemy borders and fortify them, you take that land, and it's a declaration of war. So sending even non-military into their country to occupy,
unless you have open borders policy, yeah.
But then they all come in, and then they all surround the city. And they don't attack the city; they just start taking the land, and then it results in war. The cultural thing is more about the people in the city like your way of life better and vote to join you.
But if the people in the city are my people in your city, then of course they're going to like my way is better than your way. But anyway, I don't know. You're probably right. Do you guys know? Never mind.
You got to put yourself in the shoes of the people that it's happening to. Like, imagine you're sitting in your neighborhood with your gate, and your gate opens up, and twice as many people are about to enter your gate that live in your gate. What do you do if you're the one that's dealing with that? It's so easy for us to be halfway across the world and think about that happening, right? But it's starting to happen in New York City.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.